Take that. All right. Yes, yes. So, hi, this is Gail Turner Brown from Small Business Network, Small Business Network TV. This is Wednesday night. What Wednesday night means, it is Meet the Entrepreneur. And this is our time to spotlight and highlight you, the entrepreneur, the author, the speaker, the coach, the business owner, and help improve your visibility, but help us learn more about you, help you connect with other people in the room who could be your client, or you could be our client. We never know. And so how we do this is like this. At least for our first half hour, we're gonna spotlight our special guest, who is the sensational, the rock star, Miss Raven, the Talk Show Maven, and we're gonna talk to her for about the first half an hour. And depending on if other people want to, jump in and ask her questions, absolutely feel free. And then in addition to that, if you want to talk about who you are and what you do, this is your time to shine. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring her on again. This is Raven Blair Glover. She's also known as the Talk Show Maven. She has been deemed the queen of blab by her listeners. Raven she's a radio personality. She's a 3-time award-winning talk show host. I mean, she is the bomb diggity, okay? I'm just letting you guys know. She's the founder of a positive programming show called The Amazing Women of Power, where that reaches over 4.5 million people per day. She is like them, really has mastered the art of interviewing. She has interviewed people such as Brian Tracy, experts like Lisa Sasevich. She's also interviewed celebrity stars such as Russell Simmons and Montel Williams and Sherry Shepherd. So she knows how to find the icons, connect with the icons, interview the icons, and then take all of that and turn it into an amazing business. So without further ado, I am going to let her in the room so that you guys can see our superstar, Miss Raven, the Talk Show Maven. There she is.
Got my crown, girl. Got my money glasses.
It is her crown.
Because it's all about making some ka-ching, ka-ching, ching, ching. Okay, come on, let's do a silly before we get started. You ready?
We're gonna do a silly. Okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do this silly. I love it.
Ready? Okay, here we go.
Say what? Wait a minute, hold on. Say it again, because you went out.
Okay, I'm gonna tweet us out. We're gonna do something silly. Okay. Gotta make some dance or wiggle or something. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Okay, tweet. That's cool. Yay! That works.
Yeah. All right.
She is so silly. And I have to tell you, I have to tell everybody that's in this room. One of the things that attracted me to Raven was just that. I could not believe that I found somebody that was just as silly as I am, that loved having fun, loved making money, and guess what? She wears hats. And she wears hats. And so I said, oh my gosh, I gotta hook up with her. And so she doesn't know this. She might, she may not, I don't know, but because when I first got onto Blab, she was one of the first, I'll call it, personalities that I met. There were a couple other people that I knew, and when I saw her, like I said, I'm telling you, this is being recorded. It is in the record books. Okay, I'm just going to let you know. Okay, I'm just going to let you know. But when I watched you, a thing went off in my head, because it did. I'm like, wow, she's doing this. She's doing exactly what I want to do, and she's having a lot of fun. She's making money, and she's showing people how to do it. I so admire her, and it hit me. It's like, I can do this. You know, it's like, I can do this. And so because of you is why I am now doing this on a regular, consistent basis. So I just wanted to let it be known that where I am now and where I'm going is a direct reflection of
you. Oh my God, I feel so blessed and so honored. Thank you so much.
Well,
I am excited to hear that, really, because, you're making money from it, you're moving forward, and that's what it's about. What I'm very passionate about is showing people to take their show that's, seemingly as a hobby and turn it into a business. We're just about ready to launch our book, blabbing it up behind the mic, how to go from a show host to a showpreneur, interviewpreneur, and have the business mindset of making that money on your show. In fact, I got to be honest, there were people that hated me when I first started this in podcasting and radio, and I started charging a fee for people to be interviewed on my show. Oh my God, girl, they were like, they were so pissed at me.
Okay, so wait a minute. So let me stop you right there. Okay, I know, right. See, and I'm gonna tell you, you just don't understand. You really don't understand, because I'm like, oh my God, I found somebody who matches my energy. I have teams of people who I say, y'all have to rein me in. I know I got to slow my roll. I know I got to stay on track and all of that stuff, right? And so I'm like, oh my God, it's not just me. There's someone else out there that has this kind of energy and this kind of enthusiasm. So I'm so glad. I am so honored. You have no idea how much I'm so appreciative of the fact that I got you on. We've been talking about trying to get you on for months. And so we've been, we've been going back and forth. So what I want to do, as with every story, is start from the beginning, because I've heard bits and pieces about you. I've heard, you've shared your story, bits and pieces, but I'm like, man, I got to get her on. So now I get to really dig in and find out really what happened. How did you go from where you were to where you are? So let's kind of start out understanding. First of all, where were you before you became the Queen of Blab? How did you start?
Okay. Well, before Queen of Blab, I had my radio station. I still do. Let me just grab this real quick so I can share my story. And I apologize, I didn't have it before, guys. I go from just like you, Gail, I go from interview to interview. I actually had 10 interviews today because I own a radio station. So most of my interviews that you guys never even hear, like the Russell Simmons and stuff, are there, And so, but anyway, it all started when I was 55 years old. I'm proud to say 64 now. In 2006, my mother, that's Emily Blair. Yeah, she let us know in a day's notice she was going to the hospital. And so, what was supposed to be 10 days ended up being 3 weeks in the IC unit itself. Wow. Yes, 3 weeks. And so my sister Tracy and I, we stayed at the hospital because we lost my dad like in 98. So we weren't about to lose mom. And we slept there, showered there, everything for 3 weeks. And I went to the chapel, and the voice inside me, which I choose to believe God, spoke to me. And he said, you know what? Your mom's going to be okay. She's going to be a little different, but you're going to need to step up, show up, and grow up. Step up, meaning you got to step up and do something that's going to be big, that's going to change your financial situation and your mother's. And because at that time I was 55, making $10 an hour, working 20 hours a week, only making $200. And so it show up, meaning whatever you do, you can't just, drip in there. You got to show up big time. You got to show up big time because you're going to have to do this quick. And then the last thing he said to me was, you're going to have to grow up. And that's the ouch. You're going to have to take responsibility of why at the age of 55, are you only making $10 an hour, working 20 hours a week? Your mother needs you now. She's in her late 70s. And you can't take care of her because you can't even take care of yourself. So I happened to be on a call with Alex Mendozian, my number one mentor. And at that time, I didn't know Alex. I just happened to, on a payment plan, take his course, Teleseminar Secrets. And I heard him say that the quickest way to become an expert is to interview other experts. And so I said, I can do that. I come from 30 years of sales. I have the gift of gab. And when I was 13 years old, I used to dream about being on the radio. So the little Raven got excited. And I ran around the hospital and I said, hey, I'm going to start this radio show. It's going to empower women to go for their dreams and vision, baby boomer women. And they got excited. And they said, well, since you're staying here with your mom, when people go, you can use the computers behind our desk as long as you want to do your research. And I researched how to do a podcast. You know, what the hell was a podcast? You know, how to create content, how to, interview. And I taught myself at the hospital. That happened February 6, 2006. You know, we were there for 3 weeks. Mother ended up being in the hospital for 6.5 months. So we split our time there, living there 3.5 days. Me and my sister switching it out. But during those first few months, from February 6th to April 23rd, 2006 is when I launched my very first show, Women Power, that's gone on to win multiple awards. And it was a podcast / web-based show. And Women Power, you know, was my first show. And I did it right from the kitchen table on a conference call line with 5 people. Now it's launched into Amazing Women of Power radio station, where we do reach 4.5 million listeners in 197 countries. You can go to amazingwomenofpower.com. Raven International Media Production. We have Amazing Women Magazine, and we have the first ever all talk show host speaking production troupe that we launched a couple years ago. And now every year we're getting ready to do it in June. So hopefully you can come. We award our hosts and we give the Emily Award away.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that's my story. I'm sticking to it,
right?
Yeah, that's it. And this is Mother. She passed away February 6, 2012, the exact day, 6 years later, but not without me. And she was different. As you can see, she's in a wheelchair, but not without me. Her hearing my interview with Fran Drescher, Russell Simmons, Montel Williams, Sherry Shepard, you know, Jane Kennedy, which she used to love back in the day, Les Brown. And so I had a chance to interview all of them. She's in my first book because she wrote poems. I made her a published author before she passed. At the back of my book is a picture of her and her poem in my Broadcast Your Passion book. So, that's basically it. That's my story.
This is phenomenal, and I gotta back it up a teeny bit. It's really kind of funny because I know you said that you were 55 at the time, and you know now fast forward, it's 10 years ago, it's 65. So that was the other thing too, because when I watched you and I heard you say that, I'm like, oh, she's my age. So I'm like, I know I can do this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like really that this is really amazing. This is really great. And one of the things it's really fascinating to hear how our steps were very, very similar. Because let me tell you, back in 2006, I heard Alex Mendozian's teleseminar secret. I heard that. I remember him saying he wanted to be the first millionaire to become a millionaire, like at home through doing teleseminars, right? Mm-hmm. Here is the biggest difference, guys. I want y'all to take note, okay? I heard Alex Mendozian in 2006. I heard how much the teleseminar secrets cost, and my real estate business had just started tumbling. You know, it was 2006, 2007. It started tumbling. It wiped me out. And I'm like, I don't have the money. And Raven said, I'm going to get on the payment plan. Yeah. I'm going to do whatever it takes. Yeah. And so she started it. I did it. And so now I got to play catch up. But it's okay. Because, you know, they say it's not when you start, but it's where you finish.
It's where you finish. And you're absolutely right. And it's so funny. You're absolutely right. People can take the same course at the same time, be in the same position at the same time, and make different choices. My sister stayed at the hospital with me. I love her to death. But here's the thing is she stayed on the computer and she was Googling Beyonce videos and dancing while we were sleeping at the hospital. I was Googling.
Yeah.
And she always says, wow, I wish I would have listened to you then. But it's funny, we make different choices. But I knew, like I said, it's the voice inside me said, step up, show up, and grow up. And it was that grow up that was ouch, because I was 55, making $10 an hour, 20 hours a week. I was in a marriage that wasn't a great marriage. My husband then, not my handsome one, Kaliki now, I love him. But but the other one, the one I should send a thank you card, because he left me and this one came into my life. So I always say I should buy one of them big ones at the dollar store, use a big thank you card and send it to him. But that's another show.
This is so good. This is really great. And it's interesting. I've been working with and doing some things with
John Leslie.
No, not just him. Lisa Nichols, and because she has her book called Abundance Now, and there's a section in there where she talks about, and everybody pretty much knows this. I mean, Medea talks about the same thing. Everybody's not supposed to be in your life for a lifetime. Right. And the challenge comes when we try to make part-time partnerships lifetime partnerships. So, there are times, and we know when it's that time to let go. Yep. It's like, we need to let this go. This particular relationship has completed its cycle. And now it's time to allow it to go, because until we let it go, we can't let anybody in that is supposed to show up for the rest. So that also makes me feel great, because I've been divorced for, like, goodness gracious, 30 years, I think. And so it's still hope for me yet, I guess.
Absolutely. There's always hope. As long as we stay in the game and off the sidelines and be in the game to win it, there is always hope. And that's a good thing. Always.
And I love that. I totally love that. So, okay. So let's again, I want to capsulate it and kind of bring it into form. So you were going through some stuff. You had a huge, as Napoleon Hill said, you had a definiteness of purpose. Yes. You had a red hot burning desire. And as always happens, not sometimes, always happens, when you are in alignment with that, when you make a decision and you become in alignment, then that path is shown to you. You just got to recognize it and step into it. And evidently that's what you did.
Absolutely. So it wasn't easy, though. I got to say that. It was many challenges, many setbacks. I remember, we ended up staying at the hospital for 3 weeks in a row. And then, like I said, mother was there for 6 months. So I was on for 3.5 days living there. And my sister was there for 3.5 days. And we both were married. So, that started off okay at first. But remember, this went into 6 months. And so obviously there was a lot of friction at home and stuff. I remember, working part-time at the hospital. I would take my telephone and plug it in the wall and make cold calls, because I had a part-time job there. I remember getting little sticky notes from my ex-husband back then saying I want a divorce. It'd be on the bathroom door.
That's crazy.
Oh my God, it was like the worst time. And this is a serious part. Between me and my ex-husband, there were about maybe 5 people that died the month to the date in a row. So like my sister-in-law died like in November 16th. And then my father-in-law died December 16th. And it got so scary that on the 16th, we were all picking up the phone. I mean, I'm laughing now. We're like, just checking on you. That's how it was. And mother was having infections and all that stuff. Not to mention, there was no money. So it was a lot going on. And the thing that I hope to pass on to your listeners is, when things are, even when you think you're going to make a breakthrough, even when you make that decision, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take whatever I don't have. Because I went on a payment plan. I did not have the money, but I'm going to take what I don't have and I'm going to invest it anyway. Opportunities will open up. But at the same time, you better know it. Life happenings will come knocking at the door too. You got to know that. You got to be prepared for that. And you have to be ready to do whatever it takes to push past your pain to your power, so you can live your life on purpose with a definite purpose. You got to do that.
Okay. So You guys, as my good friend Chris Bridges says, that's a writer downer. Okay. You have to understand that just because you make a decision doesn't mean stuff ain't gonna happen, because actually it's supposed to happen. That is there for a purpose, to help you determine how bad do you really want it. Do you really want it as much as you say you do? Okay, that's the universe. Like, okay, let me see. Let's see what happens. And it takes you through. They always have that saying about Murphy's Law. Whatever can happen will happen.
Yeah.
And so and that's all a test, and it strengthens with every challenge that you hurdle over, go through, over, whatever. You get tougher and tougher as you're going through the jungle into your idea of paradise. That's just the way it works. So just expect it, know it, and just put on your boxing gloves. And what they say, pull on your big girl panties and be ready to just go, or big boy panties, whatever.
Yeah.
And be ready to go move forward. So, all right. So what I need to know now is, okay, so you made the decision. Now you're going through some stuff and you're struggling. But you have interviewed some amazing people. So how did you go from, okay, for lack of a better word, nobody, because I knew who you were, to being able to interview these kinds of icons of industry and celebrity? How did that happen?
Oh, girl, you know what? I always tell people I got good at asking. I got okay with no's. Because I do come from, back then I came from 25 years of actually cold calling, boiler room cold calling. Ooh. So yeah, so I had tough skin behind the nose, and a lot of people don't know this, but I teach people how to sell over the phone and how to get through the nose and stuff, because that's really my background. Obviously I had a gift of gab, so it was a perfect match for this radio business. And so, I remember creating a vision board. And especially because The Secret had came out in 2007. I had started my show in 2006. So I think it was 2007 or 2008. So as soon as I heard The Secret, I made a vision board and I put Lisa on there, which I've interviewed her, I think 3 times. Nichols. I put Jack Canfield, all my favorites. Cynthia Kersey wrote a book called Unstoppable. I put Les Brown on there. And so I put all these people on there, of course, Alex on there. And, and then I just would keep it in front of me and I would stay focused and I would, just ask. I would ask them through email. I would ask them through phone call. I got several no's. I remember one time, I was booked to do Fran Drescher's interview and, and it was like supposed to be at 3:00. And this is one thing I like about pre-recording and not doing live, because if they don't show up, nobody knows but you and them, because you don't put the promotion out till afterwards, right? And so, I told my mom, because I was excited, and my mother called. The phone rang at 3 and I'm ready to do the interview. And my mother called. She says, baby, that mama, baby, what you doing? And I'm like, oh, I thought you were a friend. She said, yeah, that's why I was calling. I was wondering, are you still going to interview Fran? I said, yeah. She said, I don't know, because I think that's her I see on Oprah. So Fran ditched me from Oprah. Can you believe that? But I did get her. About a month later, but I got her.
If they want to ditch you, you might as well be ditched for Oprah, okay?
Yeah. But, in answer to your question, I just got good at asking. I got good at visualizing. And I was, as Les Brown is famous for saying, I was hungry for success. Remember, I was tired of seeing that little yellow sticky note saying I want a divorce everywhere I went. So, and I'm like, well, I can't take care of myself. If I lose his paycheck, what the hell am I going to do? So I kind of just, I had to get things done faster rather than slower and sooner rather than later. Time was not on my side. So I created a course called Kitchen Table Radio. And I had I think the first time I had I want to say 12 or 14 people in there. I put it at a beta price of, I think, $297. And that was my start of making, a turn, And then I decided, okay, I'm going to start, I'm going to interview people. And then I didn't have but a handful of listeners. So get this, for everyone that's tuning in, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I'm a big believer in, the clients I work with, I teach them, you got to go out there and ask, and you got to go out there and present yourself bigger. People will perceive you as big as you put yourself out there. And I started charging right away for, about a year, not right away, but within 2 years, I started charging some kind of fee. Even if it was $50, I was going to get something for people being interviewed on my show, unless they were an icon. Yeah.
Okay. Stop right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Good. Right. Because I was going to ask you that. I'm like, I know you did not charge Les Brown to interview him. Hold up. But okay. So I need to go back because I want to make sure that I'm taking people through the sequence and that they're understanding exactly what is going on.
Okay.
And actually, I'm trying to understand it too. I want to make sure. I think if I got it, they got it. So just
the thing about you're ahead because I got it. And thank you because you tuned into my Rock Your Interview talk show. So a lot of this you've heard and you've gotten the tips and the golden nuggets. And so that's the good thing about it. But thank you for stopping me because we both will roll it out.
Yeah, I know, right? Yes. Trust me, I got people behind the scenes that will kind of yank me. It's like, what? Slow it down, girl. Slow it down. So anyway, okay. So you, and it's interesting because I was having this conversation not that long ago, and people have said, well, what do you mean? Why would anybody charge for an interview? Now, obviously, as I said, you're, connecting with celebrity kinds of people. You're not charging them. So who are you charging, and what are you charging for?
Good question. I'm charging anyone that wants to come on and promote their book. Okay, who? Let's go with who. I'm charging, for me, entrepreneurs, coaches, authors, speakers, people that want to get their message out, nonprofit organizations, anybody that wants to get their heartfelt message out to an audience. Those are the people that I am charging. Why? Because they want to promote their book. They want to promote their course. They want to promote their event, And so I get a lot of emails, as I'm sure you do. Most hosts get tons of emails, especially from authors that want to get their book out, or they get tons of emails from publicists that want you to promote whoever hired them. And publicists hate me. They really do, because I'm like, okay, now they're paying you 10,000 plus. Most of them are getting 10,000 plus, on the low end 5,000. And their job is to go out there and book them on blabs, on periscopes, on radio shows and podcasts. But they're getting a fee to do this.
Right.
But they get mad as hell if we ask for a fee. Sure. We can discuss the possibility. Let's book a time and I'll let you know what all it entails. Oh, well, is it going to cost any money? Well, yeah. I'm running a business, not a hobby, just like you are,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. So I just want to make sure I understand. If you are starting out and, you got a few followers, but not that many, what would be the benefit of you charging somebody when they're like, well, you don't have that many people, or do they even ask you, especially in the beginning? I'm not talking about your 4.5 million. Okay.
No. And that's a station. That's not me alone. That's a station.
Okay,
yeah.
Right. Okay, good. And that's really kind of good to know. That's kind of like a little hook there, because it's not about just you.
It's amazing women of power. Shout out to Mary Smith Moore that's here. She's also one of my award-winning hosts, and she's runner-up for this year.
All right, awesome, So how do you go from, if you're starting out and you want to duplicate this business model, how do you position yourself as someone that can say, yeah, it's going to cost you XYZ because I can promote you, and it's going to cost you for me to promote you, just like I was a publicist or something like that?
Good question. You position yourself as an expert with your head up and your chest out and say, great, I would love to have you on my show. However, we need to schedule it so that we can chat about the possibilities a couple questions I need to ask you. Let's talk about it. I'll let you know what all it entails, and then present them with an offer. They're going to say yes or no. And that's what you want. Yes or no. Tell me quick. I got to go. Next.
Yes, exactly.
Yes
I
or
like
no.
that.
Tell me quick. I got to go.
Quick,
Next. Yeah. So basically, and remember, back then I only had a handful. In fact, when I got my first award, my podcast award, I don't even think I had a couple hundred people. Somebody wrote me and said, congratulations. So here's the thing that people are missing. Sure, numbers definitely make a difference, especially in this world when you have all the millions and trillions of people get millions and trillions of hits and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
Right.
But I'm not one of those people that get that. But what I am is one of those people that really know how to work my jelly, baby, baby, work my jelly. Yeah.
I'm not the only one, y'all.
All right. I know how to present things. I know how to make them hungry and thirsty for my offer. And I'm offering a whole heck of a lot more than just a simple everyday interview. You got to get good at what you're doing. And you got to believe in yourself that you're all that, a bag of chips and some M&Ms on the side. Show you right.
That's right.
There you go. Because if you don't believe it, they won't believe it, and you won't sell anything. Back then, I was hungry, as Les Brown said, hungry for success.
Right.
And I just spoke it like I meant it, and I spoke it like I believed in myself, and I knew that I was good at this radio thing. It was just a gift. Remember, I told you at 13, I used to I didn't tell you that, but I used to sneak to the station. And the DJs used to call my mom, who had a chain of restaurants, and say, your daughter's here. But I thought my destiny was to spin records on the radio. But as they say, it's not God. Our plan is God's plan. And his plan was, you're going to learn sales. You're going to learn how the gift of gab. You're going to learn better the gift of listening and presenting. Right. And then when the time is right, it will come together for you. And it did that moment in the hospital, So what I want to empower you guys to do is don't look at your numbers and have a plan for them to grow, but don't focus on your problem of what you don't have. Focus on the solution of what you want to have, how you're going to be able to get it. And you have to go out there and you have to let people know what you are an expert on. On my show, Rock Your Interview Talk, you come to it, Gail. Yeah. I teach people how to go from being an interviewer to being an interviewpreneur. Right. And I teach people how to make money, using their show, their Periscope, their blab, regardless of what size your audience is.
Right. I love
And that's the thing, because there's power here, right here. We got 13 people in the studio, 39 people that have come. You got more people than I usually get. What's up? Because not everybody, you got to know, my audience is far and few in between. Not everybody even get interviewing. Until they started listening to my show, they had no idea the power of interviews. Yes. I get emails all the time about it. But I don't get people ready to make that move all the time. And that's okay, because I'm only looking for a handful of people to say yes. I have 3 masterminds. Mary's in my platinum mastermind as well as my gold. I have a diamond mastermind. It's called Talk to Cash. And we teach people how to talk their way to success, fame, and profit right from their kitchen table, using the power of their voice and their heartfelt message, be it a show, blab, Periscope, interviews, or whatever. And I love doing it. And I think about all the time where I came from, the time at the hospital, the time of not having money, the time of having sticky notes saying I want a divorce, all that stuff. And it was well worth it. And I'm telling you, it's worth it. Keep showing up every day. Keep showing up for Gail's show. Keep showing up on your show and train people on what you do. Let them see in real life what you do. And then when they come to you, ask for the money. You can't be afraid to ask for the money. Don't wait for them to ask you. You have to ask for the money. And that's why I always have my ka-ching, 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 and I always keep this $1 million bill. Right. I'm going to take it, take a look at it. Yeah. Capture that, baby. Smell it, how sweet it is.
Okay, so what kind of investment? Because I don't like to say prices. When someone says, okay, yeah, I want to do this, what kind of investment do you ask them, especially in the beginning? And actually, I'm kind of getting the feeling really doesn't matter if it's in the beginning or not. It doesn't have anything to do if you're just starting out or if you are a veteran. It really all has to do with your message, your level of confidence, and believing that you can help them, and therefore they're going to want to invest with you because you can benefit them. And so it doesn't really matter whether you have one person that follows you every time on Blab or not. It really is, this is what I can do for this person. So what kind of investments are we talking about that you charge people to do that?
Well, for doing a show, I'll take you back to the starting out point, because you got to make, I learned this from Alex too, you got to make your first dollar. Go out there and make your first dollar.
Right.
And, so I don't care for people on Blab, if they reach out to you to be on your show and, they're not one of the well-known blabbers out here, and they're just, everyday folks trying to get the word out, then say, sure, charge them $25, $50, something. When you get those emails in your inbox saying from a publicist or from someone wanting to promote their book, say, sure, I'm open to discussing the possibility. And you've heard me say that before, Gail, the possibility. Let's schedule a time and we'll discuss it. Right. And then you're going to take them through, whatever questionnaire and present them with whatever you have.
Right.
My prices started out at $25, $50, $100, girl, whatever I could get. Okay. Somebody say, I got $10. I say, you got 3 minutes. I love it. Seriously, for 5 minutes, it was $497. I gradually, like 3 years later, when I say gradually, really gradually, that's how long it took for my confidence. But, you don't have to take that long. Just come see me. You got the information right there at the bottom of the screen. So basically, I went 5 minutes for $597, for $497, 10 minutes for $597, 15 minutes for $997. Now I just had a client that came into my home, and she paid over $1,500 for 15 minutes,
Right.
Okay. And we did the interview on Blab. Under test zone, right. And so and that was for 15 minutes for her. I have other clients. I have people that, when I get these big ones, like when I got Russell Simmons, I think I had somebody pay me almost $3,000 to come on in front of Russell Simmons.
Okay. So you'll interview, and pardon the way that I say this, but you'll interview the little guy in front of the bigger person.
Well, this person wrote me. Yeah, sometimes I do, not all the time. It depends on how big they are. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not gonna. I mean, like now, the most of the time, people at Marco Beauty. I love that she says now her new motto is "My talk ain't cheap." I was trying to type it, girl.
That's right. I like that. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it's got to be somebody big. I mean, people would pay that for Russell Simmons. I'm not sure if people would pay that for Les Brown and Jack Canfield and stuff, because they're on everybody's stage, right? Virtually, right. You know what I'm saying? They're on everybody's stage. Not to take anything from them, but when you go out and you get a celebrity, I mean, a real live celebrity, then that's a little bit different, you know. But when you're, especially now with Blab and Periscope, it makes it harder. I'm going to tell you, it's going to make it tougher. You are going to definitely need some coaching. So I invite you guys to, if this sounds like you and you want to take your business from a hobby to a business, you want to go from, being an interviewer to an interviewpreneur or a talk show host to a show hostpreneur. It's what I'm a master at. Then you need to see me. But I will not see you unless you're serious. There will be a commitment at the end. And that's just the way it is. But you're going to get so much from the session that you can walk away and do a lot with it. But most of my clients, they want some hand holding. They want my roadmaps like I have I have my icon interview formula. This is the secret to how I get the top experts on my show. Right. And for anyone that books a session with me, you'll get this free, whether we go further or not. I created the Trinity interview formula, which is a triple threat formula. It teaches you 3 types of interviews, and this is my 6-figure. You guys take a good look at that.
Okay.
Once you invest, you get this. This is my 6-figure blueprint, And so it's lots of ways that you can plug into me. But the point being is the game is harder now because you have Periscope, because you have Blab, and people don't need you, really. They could get on Periscope and Blab their own self, right?
Right.
And go on there, right? So it's harder.
However, though, because you kind of mentioned it a little bit before, they can, but there are a whole lot of people
out there. They're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it. A lot of them don't even know what it is. Okay. I mean, especially Periscope and Blab. This is so new to most people. They don't know what this is. And so
they don't know, and they won't do it. And they won't do it.
And if you are interviewing, if you're looking to interview, especially let's say in your local area. So you're talking about, the dry clean, the baker, the new bakery that just came out.
They'll do it.
You just
they're going to do it. Yeah. Right. That's exactly what I teach my clients. You're 100% right. You want to go offline. Right. The money is more offline is the point that I was going to. So good job. The money is more offline than online. What I'm saying to you is when you have everybody on Blab and Periscope, they are more likely not to pay you to be on your show unless your show is just one show they're dying to be on. Okay. So that's why it's important that you got to show up. You got to show up big, and you got to do it like no other in your own style. Don't try to copy anybody's style in your own style. Because one thing about Periscope and Blab is they love authenticity. So if you seem to be too much like somebody you sing, you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot, so to speak. But we all have our own natural personality and gifts. Just tap into that and go out there and do that. But you can get authors and speakers, and you can flip the script. Like I said, when you get these emails about people saying, I want to be on your show, I got this book, say that's your person. That's money. Just they're basically is being delivered to you. Right. But most people won't take that. They won't think about it. And like you said, going offline to your local areas, I love doing that. When I have time, I go out and do it. But I really am a big believer in making my money from my kitchen table. So I don't like driving, especially in Cali.
Well, let me tell you something. It has been so great because I'm in Maryland. We had a blizzard. And so, we had all of this, had 3 feet of snow. And now today is like all of 31. I mean, I'm not trying to go out and all of that. And so it's great. I'm like, yes, I love kitchen table money because if I can get it from home, it is so much better.
So much easier. Yeah.
Yes.
It can be done. And for all those, hey, Troy, and for all of those, and Tara, hey, Tara, I ain't seen you in a while. See, a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. Good to see you guys. So for all of you that have your show, just remember that it's not a hobby, it's a business. There's so many other ways. I think we're up to maybe almost 30 ways that you can make money, from your show, right? Whether you're interviewing or not, there's at least if you're not coming up with a good 8 to 10 income streams, then you definitely need to see me. But for sure. But we're going to outline that. You need to have a profit plan for your show. And most people do not have that. They go on, they love blabbing it up, and they will introduce their course and all that. But that's it. Or they'll introduce when they have a book or something,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, it does make you a 1099. Yep. If this is your business. Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely does make you a 1099. So the other thing I want to know is, because I love I shouldn't say little, but I love your way of phrasing it, being an InterviewPreneur.
I coined that. I guess you could say at the last event we did last June, we introduced our Trinity Triple Threat interview formula. And I started my Diamond Group, which is our 6-figure InterviewPreneur talk show host thing.
Right.
So, you know, we're getting ready to release our book, Heard from the Publisher. It should be released by the end of the month. And it talks about being an interviewpreneur and also a show hostpreneur or talk show hostpreneur. The same thing. The word preneur is just reminding you that it is a business, because not everybody wants to do interviews. And so we had to kind of talk about just being a show host preneur as well, because some people, they just want to do their show and they don't want to do interviews. I don't know why not, but you know, I love interviews. Interviews changed my life, as you know.
I know, because you get to.
I didn't say me doing a show changed my life. I said me doing interviews. Because Alex Bogosian is exactly right. The quickest way to become a world-renowned expert in your niche. Listen to me, everyone. Listen to me, please. Troy and Tora. Who else we have in here? And Chocolate. Hey, Chocolate. And Xanadu. I know, Mary, you know, because you're in, is it Camly? You know, anyone else that I missed? Elizabeth and Chris. And who is this in the great? Let's see. Who is this? Leroy. Okay. And of course, Leon. You got to interview. But guys, you know, interviewing everybody on Blab and Periscope, it's got to go beyond that. You got to step out there and be bold with it.
Okay. Yeah. Now, be specific. What does that mean? What do you mean?
Well, you want to interview the icons.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you.
And influencers in your niche. It's very important.
Okay.
If you want to be a world-renowned expert, you know.
Right. So yeah. Okay. Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So okay,
absolutely.
So what's level up from here for you?
Girl, you told me I was supposed to speak 30 minutes.
I know. Well, you know what? Oh well. I'm just saying. It's stuff I want to know. So you know, and look, guys, if I'm glad you said that too. If you have questions and you want to jump in, you know, for Raven. You absolutely can. I'm going to open up the seat. So yes, you definitely can do that. And look, I'm going to let y'all know now. So this is good. Okay. I have Raven's permission. So when y'all have a conversation with me and I say, this is what the investment is going to be, I'm just letting you know. Okay. That's how this goes. Just saying. So, because you know, it's all kinds of things we can do with this. And like I said, I mean, I'm learning a ton from Raven. It's really great. So, yeah, that's right. Because this is not, you know, I got to eat. Our sister has got to eat. So, and this is what we do. You know, this is what we do. We're all in business to generate revenue, and we can help you do that. And you know, listen to what Raven is saying. So, and I want to make sure again, Raven, that you put your information in there. So that people can connect with you, so that you can help them go to the next level. So,
okay,
if you guys,
I'm gonna just go put it's on the screen here, it's scrolling by, but also I'm gonna put Raven B. Glover at gmail.com. This is my direct email, so you guys can definitely use that to come on in and, you know, book, and we'll schedule some time. But like I said, I've gotten to the point. Let me just grab this real quick. I've gotten to the point. Right,
because I've heard you say, I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you, but I've heard you say, you know, look, I want people to call me. So I'm not calling people. They need to call me. So help people understand how you get to that point where people are coming to you and you're not out there chasing them.
Yeah, no, I don't chase people. I definitely, and it's just doing what I'm doing now. And that is, hold on one second. I'm trying to pick up something here. And that is invite people to call you. The ones that are interested, they're raising their head and they're saying, hey, I want to talk to you. I definitely want to find out more. And then, you know, with like I told you, I teach people how to talk their way to cash, not just in, I can't find what I'm looking for, but basically you can just email me there and say, Raven, I want a free session, and we'll go from that point on, and that will work. Okay. Type the email address again. Okay. Yeah. You know, I typed it and I didn't put it in. There it is, Raven B. Glover at gmail.com. And generally, like I'm getting an award next week in Atlanta. So I'm excited. Right. So I've only got 3 days that I'm going to be doing sessions. So if you guys go book it now, you'll get this icon interview formula, and you'll get a free audio to go with it to tell you how to use it as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Just for booking. That's whether we go further or not. But no, I won't know if I can work with you until I find out what type of show. Because some people, believe it or not, you got your show set up in such a way, it's going to be almost impossible to make money. You can monetize from it, but not make six figures. I love to teach people how to make six figures. That's our goal. That's what we're shooting for. Nothing smaller. I don't care if you're at zero. We're talking about you getting six figures, because you need to have that 6 figure plus mindset to make this thing win. If you go in and you start thinking too small, I want you to get to $50. I want you to get to $10. I want you to get to $20, whatever you can get. But when we have our conversation, we're going to be mapping out how you're going to make your six figures. You will have a 6 figure plan when you work with me. And that's what I will go, I will be on your butt about. And Mary, I got my mastermind starting at 5, and Mary went to lead it for me because she knew I'd be doing this show. But my people would tell you I'm pretty tough on them because, of where I was, because my show was it was going to be from women power to Raven on the streets of Houston. If I can turn it into some money. Look, Raven live on the streets of Houston. And I literally mean live on the street.
On the street. Yeah. That is good. I love that. I totally love that.
Yeah, but in answer to your question, you do want people to call you. I learned this in sales years ago. When people call you, think about this. When they call you, they're on your turf. When you call, and who has control?
Right.
You do.
Yeah.
When you call them, you're on their turf, and who has control? They do.
Yeah,
Plus, you're coming out like a salesperson. Okay. Yeah. So you have to draw them in, and you only want the right ones in. Most people spend 90% of their time when they're, wanting to make sales, speaking with the wrong people, speaking with the people that's not even their audience at all. And that's why they're getting so many no's and not enough yeses. Well, when I work with my clients, we get clear of who you want to get your money from. Who is your ideal client, and we help you put a package together that's going to attract them, that the right ones will raise your hand. I don't know if we have a person in here or not that wants to have a session with me, and I'm okay with that, because I tell you what I'm not going to do is go through 10 or 15 people that don't have a job, that don't have money to invest, that's got to ask their husband, their aunt, their grand. I don't care about the husband, but he needs to be close by, because you save a lot of money when you make your decision right now. See, I teach something called the irresistible ask. And we teach you how to ask it in a way where they will say yes. We structure it. We have a script that will structure it, and we present this and help you customize it to fit your audience, whether you have a show or whether you just have a business and you haven't even started a show. I actually love to work with people that never had a show, because remember, when I was at the hospital, I didn't. So those are some of my favorite people. But if you have a show, we give you a show makeover. We show you how to take that show with a handful of audience and still make a sustainable, profitable income.
Right. That is like super great. That is so, so good. So you guys need to book a session with Raven. I mean, like, not now, but right now, and take action, because that's that one of the things they say on The Secret is what they say: the universe likes speed. So if you've been hoping and praying and looking for something to happen, and then she says this and you don't take action, you really didn't mean it. And so I'm just saying. So,
yep. And just remember my story. It all started. There's Mother again. Isn't she pretty? I sure miss her. But there she is. In fact, February 6th just passed. And I did a movie about my story on there. And, I'm so glad that I went from, not having any money, not having anything, to being able to interview all these people you see on the screen. Sherry Shepherd, people ask me to come to the red carpet now, to do interviews and stuff like that. Wow, so book your time, get your icon interview formula. And if nothing else, you'll walk away with that. But Gail, I just want to, say that, thank you so much for inviting me, and we look forward to having you on the show as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is so great.
Thank all of you for coming in, all of you that are still stayed here, and all of you that have shared. I really, really appreciate it. And I got time if you do does anybody have any question that I did not answer?
Look at you taking over.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. You're the only one I'm allowed to do that, okay? So,
and I love that. Control your platform, girl. You know I talk about that.
I'm going to do a blab about that. How to control your house. So, look, if anybody has any question for Raven, she has really laid it down for everybody, really. Because one of the things that I am passionate about really is this. We hear people talk, they complain, they do all of this stuff about, I don't have, I can't do, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too black, I'm too white, I'm too woman, I'm too male, whatever. And, I got laid off, I'm too old, I can't get into the workforce, all of those things. Raven has taken away all the excuses. And I love finding people and business models where there is no excuse. So, and this is a situation where you can take, this is the other thing I like too, you can take what you already have. And if you just have a natural curiosity to want to know more, that's all you need. You don't have to necessarily have the gift of gab, just the gift of curiosity and your desire to serve. Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons I love doing interviews, because I get to get into the heads of other people, get my questions answered, and then think about, because that's one thing I said. You know what? Think about it. Larry King is a multi-millionaire. No, I don't know if he was something before Larry King show. I don't know what it did, but all he did was ask questions. Yep. All he did was interview people. He made a ton of money. Same thing with Oprah. I noticed she was a journalist and she's fabulous and all that stuff, but she interviewed people. And that's part of what drew her in. And she was authentic, and she brought people to the platform that were beneficial to other people. And that is what Raven is doing. And that is what, not only is she doing it, but she's sharing it with other people. And you can do the same thing. So that's the part that I like, that you really can start with nothing. Because really at the end of it, it really isn't nothing. The assets are there. They're in your head. They're in your heart. They're all around you. So that's my thing, is being able to create from zero to hero. And I've brought somebody to the platform that definitely can allow you to do that. And her show, you can always make sure everyone is following her. I could tell she already knows probably everybody in this room. So most people probably are. But follow her, because when her show comes on, you can get some really great nuggets. But you definitely want to be able to work with her. So you can, either take. I'm
actually going to be cutting back and not doing as many shows, my Rock Your Interview talk show and stuff, because everything's just, we've added a magazine now to we've had that for a whole year. And like I said earlier, I have the world's first and only all talk show hosts speaking production troupe. It's called Amazing Agents of Change. It goes with my Amazing Women of Power network, my Amazing Women TV network, and the Amazing Women magazine. Okay. So we've really took this thing from a thought that God put in my heart and spoke to me in the ICU unit of a hospital to Raven International multi-new media empire. Awesome. And that's what I want to leave you guys with, the thought that is not what you have right now. Because I still don't know how big this is going to be. It's not what you have right now. It's what you're going to have in the future. And don't get so in your head that you're trying to figure out, well, if I do this, how can I make this happen? One of the things I did at the hospital is I took a piece of paper and I drew a line. Let's see if I have a piece of paper. I drew a line down the middle, just like we used to in grade school. Right. And I put on one side, on the right, what do I need to do? On the left, where do I begin? And I never thought about the how. Right. I made a list of what I need to do and where do I need to begin. And as I completed it, I checked it off. And I want to encourage you to do this too and get good at asking. And don't try to run nobody's show like Raven, the Talk Show Maven. Queen of Blab. Right.
So, all right,
Sorry
guys.
about that.
That's okay. Hey, it's all good. It is all good. So look, with that, guys, as we at the top of the hour, I like to keep this an hour. So thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys for being here. You know, we're here every Wednesday, same time, same station, 7 p.m. And man, this is y'all's time. You know, your time to jump in seats and stuff like that on Wednesday. So next week, we need to make sure that you are here and in the seat. And so with that, once again, it was a honor and a pleasure, Ms. Raven, the Talk Show Maven. And I'm going to be connecting with you as well because I want to continue to expand too. So since you're not going to be on here that much, I got to make sure I absolutely stay up with you. So you know, right. So I was like, oh no, I'm not letting you get away from me now. So, and thank you, Xanadu. Appreciate you, girl. Appreciate you. So with that, guys, I will say peace out. And I will see you guys next week. And you guys stay blessed. So see you guys later. Thanks, Raven.
Bye-bye. See you later. I got to rush to my call. Bye.
I know.